All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about overthinking. You know, that endless loop of analysis that can get you stuck. Well, what if I told you it's not actually a weakness? In fact, there's a really strong link between overthinking and having a seriously high-functioning brain. So today, we're going to unpack exactly why that is.
Does this feel familiar? It's the middle of the night and you're replaying a conversation from like 6 hours ago, picking apart every single word, every little pause. Or maybe you're just trying to make a simple decision, but your brain presents you with a million possible outcomes. Yeah, if that's you, you are definitely not alone. This is practically a trademark for highly intelligent people.
And this is where things get really interesting. We've been taught to see overthinking as this annoying bug, right? A flaw in our system that we need to fix. But what if it's not a bug at all? What if it's a feature, a natural side effect of having a brain that's just really, really good at what it does? That's the paradox we're digging into. Your biggest mental strength can sometimes feel like your biggest problem.
So why does this happen? Well, it's not random, that's for sure. There are some very specific things that push a smart brain into overdrive. In fact, we can boil it down to 5 key drivers that really explain this whole tendency.
Let's run through them. First, your brain is an absolute master at spotting patterns and running what-if scenarios for everything. Then you've got high self-awareness, that constant inner critic analyzing how you're coming across. Third, there's emotional depth. You don't just feel things, you dissect them. Add a dash of fear of regret, which makes you second-guess pretty much every choice. And top it all off with perfectionism, that need to find the perfect answer, not just a good one. Any one of these is a lot, but put them all together, you've got a perfect storm for overthinking.
I mean, this just nails it, doesn't it? The very thing that lets you solve complex problems and see things nobody else can is the exact same thing that can tie you up in knots of anxiety and make you freeze. It's like your superpower and your kryptonite are one and the same.
And have you ever wondered why it gets a million times worse at night? It's actually super simple. All day long, your brain is busy, right? It's dealing with work, people, noise, just a ton of distractions. But at night, all of that goes quiet, and your brain suddenly has all this empty space, and it goes, awesome. Let's fill it with every worry and half-finished thought from the last decade. Okay, so here's the crucial part. We have to know when this whole thing crosses a line. Because there is a massive difference between productive, deep thinking and just getting completely stuck in a mental trap. This is that tipping point where your intelligence stops helping and honestly starts to hurt.
Let's just look at them side by side. Productive thinking is all about finding solutions. You're moving forward, you're gaining insight. But harmful rumination, that's just a hamster wheel. You're just repeating the same problem over and over, going nowhere. It doesn't lead to insight, it just paralyzes you. Figuring out which side of that line you're on, that's the whole game.
But here is the really good news. You are not helpless here. You're not just stuck with a brain that won't shut up. There are actual practical things you can do to quiet the noise and get back in the driver's seat. So let's talk about 3 of the most powerful strategies.
Number 1, write it down. I'm serious, get those swirling thoughts out of your head and onto a piece of paper. It literally breaks the loop and lets you see them for what they are. Second, limit your decisions. If you're agonizing over what to eat, just give yourself 2 options. That's it. Taking choices off the table is incredibly freeing. And third, practice trusting your gut. Your intuition is basically your brain processing information at hyperspeed. Leaning into it is a fantastic way to short-circuit that cycle of overanalysis.
So if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. Overthinking is not some character flaw you have. It's a sign that you have a high-performance engine for a brain, and you just never got taught how to let it idle. It doesn't need to be fixed, it just needs to learn how to rest.
So the real question isn't, how do I stop my brain from being so powerful? It's, how am I going to give this amazing mind the peace it actually deserves? So think about it. How are you going to rest your mind tonight?